Hi, this is Jared with MetalsPeak.com. Today I'm reviewing the latest release from Mumakil. It's called Flies Will Starve. It's being released on June 25th through Relapse Records. On the brutality scale on this one, I gave this one a 10 out of 10. I first heard Mumakil back in 2008 when I picked up a copy of their Ruling Class Cancelled split with Misery Index at a show and was just completely blown away by just how unrelentingly ferocious they were. When they announced the release of their first full-length Behold the Failure on Relapse the following year, I was just absolutely beside myself in anticipation waiting for it to come out, and my enthusiasm was well met by that CD, as it was nothing short of just a pure decimating slab of musical fury. Fast forward 4 years to 2013, and Mumakil have delivered yet again with Flies Will Starve, which is another healthy helping of unadulterated groove-laden grindcore madness. This album has all the hallmarks of what makes a great grindcore album. You got short, controlled bursts of aggression. Every song clocks in at just under 2 minutes, except for the album's closer, which is like 2 minutes and 4 seconds. You've got the chunky, accelerated punk riffs. You've got the frenzied D beats, the bark, dry lung vocals, and just a really rumbly low end. And all that just comes together for an album that goes off like a giant, pissed off cobra spitting venom in all directions and just laying to waste everything in its path. This album is fucking mean. On the songwriting end, I gave these guys a 9 out of 10. Like kind of like what I said on the hardcore side of things with the Nails review. Grindcore, the same sentiment holds true. It's really a hard genre to fuck up, but there are some bands that just don't do it right. Sometimes the songs are too short. They're too fast. They get going, they build a great groove, and then they just stop, and you're kind of left hanging as a listener. But Mumakil do a lot of things right with this one. Song length is right where it needs to be. Gives the What I like about there is that it gives each composition enough time to gather enough breath to just blast you in the face with fire. What I really appreciate about their attack here is that it's is about as close to organized chaos as you're likely to get with an album like this. This isn't just frenzied blasting away at their instruments. There's a method to the madness if you actually take the time to listen to what they're doing. If you don't believe me, go to the album's main head turners, in my opinion, which are designed to fail, waste by definition, and bring them to ruin. And that ought to set your ass straight on what they're doing there. So on production, I gave this one an 8 out of 10. A big sticking point with me when it comes to albums like this, with grindcore albums, and probably where me and a lot of self-appointed grindcore purists are bound to part ways is on production. I think a lot of aficionados in the genre prefer their production to have a certain lean, crusty, and nasty kind of DIY quality to it. In other words, they're only going to like it if it has no bass and it sounds like it was recorded with a wet washcloth wrapped around the mics. But you know what? Fuck that. The production on this album is beefy as fuck, which is probably going to piss off a lot of diehards who think that all albums like this should be recorded on tape in someone's garage with the door wide open. Um, but yeah, this one is just it's real thick and real meaty. If I had a gripe with it, it's probably that the low end on this is just a little too robust. There were times where I was listening to it in my car where I had to adjust the EQ on the bass to kind of lean it out so that the vocals and guitars could come through a little better. But other than that, the album sounds killer. So a minor gripe there. As far as repeat listenability goes, I'm going to give this one 9 out of 10. I'd say this album is a close second behind Nails' Abandon All Life in terms of albums that I'd go to if I've had an absolutely shitty day and need something to take the edge off. And honestly, if the last few weeks have been any indication, I'm probably going to be going back to this one a lot. Artwork and layout, I'm going to give this one 9 out of 10. We only got the digital promo, so I can only comment on the cover. It's a skeleton lying amongst the ruins of a demolished urban wasteland. And I'm giving it a 9 only because I can only assume that if this album were somehow able to assume a physical form, it would have the exact same effect on any given city and its population. So there you go. As far as the overall score, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. Flies Will Starve is an extremely solid sophomore effort from a band that's sure to become one of the most prolific grindcore acts on the Relapse roster, if not in the world. You know, 4 years is a little long between albums, but you can't rush greatness, and this album was well worth the wait. So make sure you check it out. Thanks for listening.